Hello, friends. How are you all? I hope all of you are doing great. So, let us start new session for English learning and learning English communication with me. Before going to start new session, I would like to revise some of the points which I have mentioned in my previous video. In my first video, I told you regarding make a habit to think in English, and the second point I mentioned that make a habit to start listening on everyday basis and start learning to only learning and listening to those contents which you like the most. You have to start listening on daily basis, on listen those contents which you like the most, whether you are preferring sports, whether preferring to learn cooking, whether you are trying to learn storytelling. Means you have to listen the contents which you like the most, because you are listening this type of contents, you will put your 100% concentration on the topic, and you would like to know the contents everything like words, vocabulary, rhythm, intonation, that will be helpful to you while speaking in English. This was my second opinion. Then we are coming to the third point, in which I told you to start reading on everyday basis and try to read only those contents which you like the most. If you are reading a contents, you are learning new words, you are learning new vocabulary, you are learning sentence configuration, how the verb are attached with each others. You have come to know what kind of helping verbs are used and what kind of verbs are used while making the sentences. So that will also enhance the speaking capability. Means you need to read all the contents on daily basis. The fourth point was writing. In the evening or maybe in the morning, when you are getting the time, you try to write something related to your day-to-day activity. While writing, you will get lot of time to things, so you will try to avoid the mistakes while writing. That will enhance your grammar capability, because you will take all precautions while writing the sentences. It is also a good way to enhance our English communication. The fifth point was shadowing or copying. or imitating, in which I told you, suppose you are listening a contents which you like the most, you listen and then stop the video and try to tell the things, same thing in your words which you have just listened, with same rhythm, with same vocabulary and in the same words. If you are doing so, that command will go several times to your mind, and the contents will be absorbed by your mind. So while speaking, you will be able to speak that contents in a very short span. You will not take the time to translate in your mind, but it will automatically come. Shadowing is a good procedure you need to follow. By following the shadowing procedure, the baby that is around 2 to 3 months able to know how to speak the native language. The baby used to follow the shadowing procedure, copying procedure. What the mother tells, what the father tells, what the sister tells, the baby like to absorb those things by telling several times, by repeating several times those contents. So shadowing is a very good procedure by which we can learn English communication very easily. So try to follow the procedure of shadowing. It will also enhance your speaking capability. Now we are going to start the new things that is called teaching. My friends, if you are going to start teaching to someone, you will learn the communication with twice speed. Because if you want to teach anybody, maybe your neighbor, maybe that may be your friend, that may be your son or maybe daughter or anyone whom you like to teach, definitely before teaching you like to read that contents very carefully. You will put your full attention to learn the contents yourself very carefully. So if you are reading any contents very carefully, means you are putting your whole concentration on the words, vocabulary, rhythm, intonation, and the flow of sentences. And you will try to grasp all the contents in your mind by reading or listening several times before teaching. So in the next time, when you are going to teach anybody, you will have to repeat the same thing to the student or the neighbor or maybe anyone whom you like to teach. So first time you are learning the contents while learning yourself, and then you are repeating the same thing while teaching. So if you are teaching anyone, you will learn the communication very easily. So my friends, try to find out any person whom you can teach. It will be very beneficial to you. So this is the fifth point. If you want to learn the English communication with the very short span, you try to find out somebody so you can teach. Now, the next point is confidence. My friends, if you are speaking English, try to think and speak these contents with confidence. Because if you are speaking anything with confidence, the listener will try to listen your things very carefully. If you don't have the confidence to speak, listener will not take any interest, not pay any attention your speaking contents. So whether you have not much knowledge, you are not able to make proper sentences, and still you are trying to speak the English, you try to speak with confidence. If you are speaking with confidence, definitely the listener will pay full attention in your contents and they will listen carefully. And you will also get the confidence much. And while speaking, don't worry about the mistake. If you are doing any mistake, don't care for that. Don't be afraid of making mistake. Don't be shy while speaking. You try to speak as much as possible. The more you speak, the more you get closer to your goal. My friends, if you want to speak very soon, make a habit from morning to evening. When you are getting a time, instead of talking in your native language to anything, you prefer to speak in English. Unless there is very much requirement of speaking your native language, don't try to speak in your native language. Because as much as you use the English, the contents will be absorbed by your mind and it will continue to happen, and the mind will start working accordingly. Means if you want to speak anything, your mind will automatically try to speak in English. You have to be immersed yourself in English and try to speak slowly because you are learning. So give some time to your mind to think the contents which you like to speak, so that you can make little mistake. Because if you are speaking in such a way, the listener will able to understand your contents. You are moving one step forward to your goal. So my friends, when you are trying to speak politely, speak slowly, speak all the contents with your heart. Because if you are speaking the contents with your heart, definitely you will put your whole concentration while speaking. So take care while speaking. Now, after getting up from your bed, if you are going to the bathroom, you just wash your face, and after that, since morning you starting doing any action, you try to speak in English. I would like to share some of the points which I'm following on day-to-day basis. When I get up, I go to the bathroom and while I wash my faces, then I go in my balcony because there's a lot of flower pots. So it is my daily routine to take care of all the flower pots. So while doing all the action in my balcony, I used to speak all the sentences in English. Suppose when I go to balcony, I found a lot of leaves were laying there. So I prefer to clean it. Then I take broom and try to sweep the area of balcony with myself. I do not wait for the maid to come. So while sweeping, I speak lot of sentences and I prefer to speak all the sentences English. Miss, whatever I'm doing in the balcony, I am telling in English. Like, I have collected broom in my hand, I am going to sweep the balcony area. Then while sleeping, I take care all the flower pots so that will not be broken. And after sweeping the area, whatever the leaves I collected at the particular point, and after collecting it, I put in the garbage box. Then I give water to all the flower pots. While giving the water, some water come out of the flower pot. Then I take the mop. With the mopping, I use to dry all the area of my balcony and clean all the scents which were spread there. So my friend, I mean to say all the sentences because you can do the same procedure to learn the English. I have narrated some of the points which I do after getting up from my bed. So not only stop all these things, but I used to carry at least some of the action throughout the day. So if I am doing any action, I just try to speak in English. I never try to speak in our native English till it is very much urgent. If I come to know that the listener will not be able to understand English, then I am forced to speak in our native English. Otherwise, I generally prefer to speak all the contents throughout the day in English. This is the best procedure. Because how we are able to make ourselves very friendly to our native English, because we generally from morning to evening we used to speak in our native English. That why we are able to speak naturally, very friendly with our native English. Similarly, if you want to speak in English so friendly, so naturally, flawless, then you should follow the same procedure as you have followed to learn your native communications. So my friends, remember it. You force your mind to speak always English. You force your mind to think English all the time. That will enhance the capability of learning English and learning English communication. I am following the same procedure. I am telling you, I am forcing you to adopt it. Because you are doing so, it is my promise that you will be able to learn English communication very easily. And one thing I would like to tell you, that another procedure you have to follow. You need to speak. You need to tell some story which are related to your life in your English words, because for that there is no need to find out anything. That is all already laying in your mind. But now it is time to just tell yourself such a story. Yourself. Even you are sitting alone, you can tell your life story yourself and try to speak the story loudly. I am giving one example related to my life. Actually, when I was a child, around 5 to 6 years or maybe 7 years, I am talking at the time of Bangladesh war. There was war between India and Bangladesh in 1971. I was living in a village along by my grandfather, and there was a person in my village who was working in the army. He came back to our village after the war. The people used to go to meet him to know the events related to the war. One day my grandfather took me to there, and we met with that person. He had a tape recorder, and he told me to sing a song. And he told me that one baby is sitting in this box, and that will retell the same, re-sing the same song which I sing. Then I thought, how can it possible a baby is sitting in such a small box? Anyhow, he was insisting me so many times. Then I took the decision to say, sing a song. I sang a song. And when he played the tape recorder, I found the same song I was able to listen. Then I thought, how can it possible? Since that time, I was thinking about that matter. How can it be possible that a baby can sing in such a small box? Then I grown up, I reached a 9th class, and I came to city. There was a subject on that time that is called SUPW, in which the student is assigned to take either photography or maybe electronics or commercial art. I took electronics, and there was a very good science teacher he might have worked with their hand also. He told me to, not to me, but all the students which belongs to the electronics, to make a tape recorder. We purchased the spare part from the market and we assembled there. And after assembling, I have come to know that there was no child was sitting in there. That was the tape recorder. Because I made the first recorder for my home myself. So I come to know that he was making fool. There was no child was sitting inside. And my friends, I told you that story which are providing you two lessons. You have the interest to learning any things. God may provide that opportunity any times. I had keeping the interest to learn about the tape recorder, how a child was sitting in the tape recorder. Then after several years of the after the 10 years, God had given me a chance to learn to make the tape recorder. So my friends, try to create interest, try to think about an interest, and try to put your 100% concentration to learn those things which you like. If you are thinking in that field, God will also support you, because the environment will create all around you like this, and you will be able to learn those things very easily and very carefully and within very short span. My friends, try to make positive attitude in your life. It will provide you full confidence in yourself. So we are now, our aim is to learn English communication. So we should always think an environment around us to learn English, either by following all the procedure I have mentioned in my previous video as well. Today also, you have to learn to speak English by any hook or crook. If you are doing so, nobody can stop you to speak in English. My friends, there no need to find no extra activity to do. Whatever I am adopting, just to adopt all the things. It is my promise that I am working like a team. The person who is watching my video, I am telling you, I am following these procedures which I have mentioned you just carry with it. We will work together, and within very short time we will be able to speak flawless English, natural English, like we speak in our native language. Thank you so much. Please like it and subscribe my channel and share it, so that I can make a video, so that you can get a confidence to learn English and speak English. Thank you so much.